All right, let's go. I'm already behind. Not your fault. Sort of.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
I'm back, baby. I'm back. Did I blow your speakers on that one? I'm back. Not in the podcast sense. I'm always going to be here every Friday. I do this at anywhere between 2 and 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. And I'm just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. The reason why I say I'm back is because I'm going to another party. I say another party. The family, like there's 15 people in this household. No, the one lady, I told you the story where I touched her face because she had, hot dog schmutz on her face. My wife got mad at me. Don't touch a woman's face. We're going back. They invited us to come to a birthday celebration because we're so cool. Here's the thing, though. It's an hour and a half away, so they have a good size house. They have a good, I don't want to say mansion. I think a mansion, the definition of mansion is over 5,000 square feet. So this is it's 3 levels, including the basement. Actually, it's 4 levels, including the basement. And it's, big building and all that, but it's an hour away. It's an hour and 15 minutes away. No, I take that back. Shave off the 15. It's about an hour away. Yeah. So we proclaimed one of the bedrooms. So we're going to be staying on the property after the party is all said and done. It's basically going to be a repeat of what happened last time, but this is more of a birthday party for the husband of the wife whose cheek I pinched. But my wife goes, "Do you want to go?" And I go, "Yeah, get us out of the house, babe. Let's you know how they tell the kids to get off their video games and go out and touch grass? Let's go out there and touch some people. You and I both live here on this property. She's the one who goes in and out of Charlotte for work and stuff. My job is sitting right here in front of you guys. But I've got 22 some odd acres to take care of. There's a lot of stuff that I have to do here on the property. I actually did a thing like map my ride because I do my 4-mile walk every day. And I did, I hit it because I was spraying Roundup around the property. And I walked just over 1.5 miles on the property and just spraying Roundup. It took me like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. It was something crazy like that. Just to spray Roundup, the weed areas and stuff. So I'm back. We're going to this party. Now, the thing of the party is, it's one of those themed parties, which I don't mind. I don't care. It's fun. When you get a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds, they kind of run out of ideas. Let's do 80s. Let's do 50s. Let's do, whatever the niche is as far as parties and things. They just run out of ideas. Now they've done like white parties. They've done like all black. Well, when you say white and black parties, you have to be careful how you say it. No, it's what you wear, the attire that you wear. This one, my wife told me, and I go, "Are you sure that it's this?" And she said, "Yes." I go, "All right, well, that's kind of weird." But do you know what that sounds like, right? And she goes, "No, what does it mean?" And I go, "Well, babe, I hate to say this, babe. I hate to say, not that I say I love you. I say this because I love you." That's the verbiage I was looking for. That when you say you're going to have a yellow party, it sounds like in the adult entertainment industry, which I have been a part of for not currently, but back in my day, I was part of the adult content for many years. You might recognize me. Well, probably not my face. I'm kidding, joking. No, I worked at some adult entertainment clubs. But a yellow party is basically where a bunch of guys pee on you. Oh, yeah. Not on you. I'm talking, they have a girl and they, I love you. And then it's like, everyone pees on the girl. So it's a yellow party that we're going to. And the reason why I say it's a yellow party, it's not going to be the urination type. It's going to be, I'm going to wear an outfit that's completely like obnoxiously yellow. I'm going to have a black tank top, a little wife beater on. And then my wife got me this bright yellow mustard yellow shirt that's got like cowboy hats on it and cowboys and stuff. I look like Woody from Toy Story. But I've got like a fedora, one of those little hats on it, same print. And then I've got like swim trunks because I think they have a pool there, which I will be going in. So I got some swim trunks there that match and everything. And I got yellow socks and black shoes. So that's my outfit. My wife's got a nice, very modest sundress not strapless. It's spaghetti strap sundress, full length. It goes down to just above her knees or below her knees. Sorry. So she'll be wearing that. I don't know if she's going to get in the pool and stuff. It's late at night. When you get drunk, everyone's going to the pool. But yeah, they invited us back. Not us. They invited my wife back. And they said, yeah, you can bring the guy that you're married to along with you as well. I know. I asked my wife to get me something a while back. And I was kind of passive aggressively mad at her. And I'll tell you what that is, because she felt bad. And then she came through this weekend as far as what she did and what she says that she forgot to do and all that. And I said, no, babe. No, really. It's fine. It's fine. But, last night you said, but you ever played those games before? All right. I'll dive into that too. And I finished the series and I'll let you know how I feel about the series that I just finished. So stick around. I'll be right back. For all you new listeners out there, we appreciate you. I say we, it's me. This is my show. This is, I do several different podcasts. I have responsibilities here in the studio to make sure that the other podcasts, because there is a lot of advertisers, there's a lot of people that are involved with it. So I make sure that I create the best product I possibly can. And in the process of that, I don't have an outreach or an outlet for me to sit here and talk. Sure, I give my opinions on this, but they're kind of like, I got to reel them in because of the content that we're distributing out. So this is my mental health, and the reason why this show came to be is because when I started turning 50, I'm like going, God, like the opening says, you're expected to be an adult. And I'm just realizing how much of an adult I'm starting to be now that I'm 52. And so my wife is not 50. She's 45. So she doesn't understand. When she hit 40, she understood everything. I don't want to be 40. I don't want to be 45, babe. I don't want to be 52. So the stuff that I do and I see, I can't bounce it off of her because she's not there yet. So this is my outlet. So hence the show, This is 50. We've had some players on the show in the past and stuff, so feel free to listen to all that in the background. Past shows. So as you guys know, I do my 4-mile walk. I've been still doing it Monday through Friday. Get up, do my chores. Not like I'm doing anything. I go down, I feed the horses, I walk the property. I survey the property. My dad does most of it on the side-by-side, lazy man's way. But I, check out the horses and, put my hands on the horses, make sure that nothing happened overnight. Because they are out in pastures and we have, 22 some odd acres. So if they're way in the back, I got to go back there and get them and make sure that they're all right, or call them up, hey, come get your food. And they perk up and come running. And just make sure they're not damaged or anything like that, because they're like, 1,500 pound toddlers. For the most part, they are. They're fucking dumb sometimes. Anyways, so once I get all that done and I have to, I do my 4-mile walk, which is literally like 1 block over from us. There's a neighborhood. It's got a cul-de-sac. It's a half mile down, half mile back. There's no houses on it. There's like 4 houses on it. They're building more, but not right away. So I've learned the people in my neighborhood, and I use that term loosely, neighborhood. We are just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town called Marshville. We are out here, man. We are out in the woods, in the sticks, as they say, a little gravel on my travel type deal. And they're slowly trying to communalize the area. Like people are that were sowing seeds and growing corn and feed corn, not human consumption corn. Corn that's going to feed, like being processed into dog food and all that stuff. That's all the way around here. And people are selling their lots off because the price of property and all that. So they're building houses and getting a, good penny for them. So I've learned the people that are on my walk and stuff. And I take that back. There's 5 houses out there. And a new couple has moved in. Young couple, my age. Well, she's my age. I think he's a little bit younger, probably like my wife's age type deal. And they were nice. I say we're nice, like they're dead. Dun 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 dun. No, they're good people. But I have the feeling that she is home most of the time, and he's the one who owns the business and goes out and does the work. And so I see her now and then, and I don't know if it's a convenience of being isolated. I've got stuff to do. I've got animals, all the stuff going on here. I don't know if she's got enough stuff to do at her place. And the reason why I say that is because she's made like a cheesecake or two and say, here's for your dad, this is for your dad, that type of stuff. I'm like, oh, man, thank you. It's really good, but thanks. We got enough sweets over here. Don't make us any more, goddammit. So the other day I'm walking, and she's out there on a zero-turn mower. Now, they sit on about 3 acres. The rule is if you're going to build a house in this area, it has to be more than 2,000 square feet, and it has to be on more than 3 acres, or up to 3 acres. It can't be like 0 plot lines. It's got to sit on a 3-acre lot. So this house that they're living in, they're the second owners. They're, the house sits on whatever, and a lot of grass and stuff. Anyways, long of the short is she's out there on this mower, zero-turn mower, and she's out there back and forth. She's going so slow. And you could tell right away. I'm like going, she's never used this kind of mower before. She's never mowed grass like this before. She's never done this outside of, whatever she's used to. So I walk up and down, and she's mowing. I kind of wave to her, and she's, if you ever done like a zero-turn mower, you got the 2 handlebars that come up in front of you. You don't want to let go. So you just kind of go, hi, and then grab the handle real quick again. If you were watching this here on the YouTube video, you kind of go, hi, hi, hi. Or a little pinky up. Oh, I don't want to let go of this thing. It's going to run wild on me. So I get into my second lap, and she's on the phone or whatever, and I'm like going, hey, I forget how the conversation started. She's like, let me go. Travis is here. Okay, love you. Bye. She's talking to her husband, and I go, hey, what's going on? She goes, how does the lawn look? I go, well, it looks good. Sorta. I don't want to. Is this your first time? She goes, yeah, it's my first time mowing the lawn. I go, oh, okay. It looks good. Looks fine. Are you sure that my husband didn't give me any directions. He just said, jump on it and go. And I go, well, you did that. You did well. You didn't flip it over. You're not upside down. You're not in the ditch anywhere. She's like, yeah, but, I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't look good. And I'm looking at her grass, and she's got like a small little, some neighborhoods have just a little bit of a dip in the property line, for water drainage and all that stuff. It's all grass and stuff. And as she's made her turn, she's done what I call, moose tracks or horse tracks. These little, where she's burned it. She's turned it too sharp. I go, no. It takes some time to get used to all this stuff. I said, it'll be fine. She's like, I've never ridden one of these before. And she's all, oh my God, panic. And I'm like, oh no, everything's fine. I go, is that brand new? She's like, yeah, it's brand new. He just went out and bought it for me. The other mower wasn't doing well. I was fine with the other mower. I'm fine with pushing mowers. This is her, her situation at the time. And I said, well, let me look at it. And I look at it and I go, oh, this is nice. It's Kohler engine. Yeah. I said, where'd you get it? And she goes, oh, I got it. He got it from Tractor Supply. He paid $4,000 for this thing, Travis. It's a lawnmower. It's $4,000. And then I go, yeah, I said, mine was almost, $6,000, $6,500 by the time I got done with it. I said, it's a little bit bigger than yours, but I got a little bit bigger property than you. And she's like, oh, and she just kind of looked defeated. And then she goes, well, I gotta blow the yard off, and I gotta blow this machine off and put it. I don't want to put it away with grass and everything. I said, well, I'm going to finish my walk. So as I'm walking, my mind starts playing that conversation back in my head, and I'm like, God, did I sound uppity? Did I sound arrogant? Why would you say that? Here she is spilling out her guts and saying that, she's been riding around on this $4,000 lawnmower, and I just kind of went, yeah, mine's like $6,000. I don't know how much, baller and like flipping dollar bills out. And I just kind of went, did I take away her thunder? Did I take away her? Why would I say something like that? I didn't think about it at the time. I was like going, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe giving her an idea of what she got is not that expensive compared to the whole scope of what you need to do to work a property like this. So I thought about it for a while. And then I said, well, I need to say something else to her. So on my last trip, on the way back, my last lap, I said, did your husband drink one of those THC things that I gave him? Yeah, they didn't affect them. And I said, well, I drank one last Sunday. And I told you the story of that. And we got into detail and discussion of that. And I guess it didn't register in her mind, maybe. I don't know. But in my mind, I was like going, well, after our conversation, all right, well, we'll see you. Have a good weekend. And, I walked down and I was like, God damn it. I hope it didn't come off like I'm this money guy. Because I am. I know I am. I'm all about the bottom line, the bottom dollar. What's it going to cost me? How much can I make? What that type deal? What is this value? Do you know how much I had to work to obtain this level of whatever? I know I'm like that. So when she said that mower was $4,000, I go, yeah, mine's $6,000. Yeah, nothing, chump change for me. I'm leaning on the car. I'm not, but yeah. And the reason why I tell you this little story here is because I started watching The Gilded Age. And I don't know any of the actors that are in it. I told you the one guy from House is in it, and I've been watching it. So I finished the series. Series had 3 seasons. And there's going to be a season 4. The reason why I liked the series, because my wife was like, this is totally not your series. This is totally not your lane as far as watching period pieces, time period pieces. Okay. And I said, yeah, but there's just something that, I don't know. It just kind of, it sticks with me. And as I tell you the story as far as me saying, yeah, mine was $6,000 and blah, 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 they kind of do that in the show itself. And I kind of put 2 and 2 together and I go, well, this is why this series reaches out to me, because the mother wants to be hierarchy or be, the populace in New York City, young New York City. And she's always about striving to be in the whole gnome, the whole genre. She wants to be the one with power, the female with power. She's a very strong woman in the show. As the husband, he's the one who makes money. She's the one who makes the level as far as the way people look and appreciate you. And I remember growing up as a child that my mom And my aunt, my mom's half-sister, would constantly do that. My mom would teach me. We didn't have the money, but she came from New York. She came from that lifestyle up there. So did my aunt. Came from that lifestyle to where you have to be proper. You have to do this. You have to do, this is what your forks on the left, your knife and spoons on the right. Where your salad forks are, what you do and what you don't do as far as sitting at a table, the etiquette, the pomp and stance that you learn and how to actually eat soup and all this stuff and growing up and how you talk and stuff. That's why it freaked me out when my wife says you don't touch a woman's face like that. And I said, I've never heard that before. I don't know if I can understand why that is. Because I was raised in this eclectic, this upper scale version of our life. Now, like I said, we didn't have any money or anything, and the Gilded Age television series. Is it a television series? If it's streaming series, whatever it is, resonated the same concept of, this is what you do and make sure, you take your gloves off before you pour the wine and then you put your gloves on if you're going to serve food. And not that it was that extreme, but it's those type things that my mom would teach me all the time. Not that I'm wearing gloves and or anything like that. James, get over here. I need more coffee. But these are the things that my mom would teach me, this etiquette, this proper etiquette. As far my wife, not to be, demeaning my wife because she's an awesome person. She didn't know how to set the table. When we were doing like Thanksgiving, like here in our house, she's like, I don't know how to set the table. Well, you're not supposed to know how. They don't teach you how. Your parents should teach you. Her parents taught her other things. Being being a strong, independent woman, which she is. I know how to set a table, but it's those type things. It's the yin and yang between all of us. So that's why I kind of gravitated towards the Gilded Age. It's good. It's got its moments, and so I'm waiting for season 4. If I don't forget about it, it comes out 2 years later. Gilded Age, 2027. When we come back, I had a run-in, not a run-in, with my old neighbors. The one that the dog almost bit me. So I'll get into that when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. So my wife came home. Hold on. Let me try that again. So my wife came home early one day. Not that I was not expecting her. I forgot that she was coming home early. And when I say early, she left work early to do a hair appointment at 1:00. And, women, how long does your hair appointment take? Like 4 hours or something like that. So she left Charlotte and drove into our town, or drove back home because her hairstylist is over here in our town. And she got her hair done, got my roots did, all that. And because she had a horse show coming up, I think in the next day or two. And I forgot that she was coming home early. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing more satisfying for someone, male or female, that you're just like, normally you're like going, all right, the spouse is out of the house. I can eat breakfast, flip through the channels on TV, relax, fart around, play a little PlayStation, and then you look at your watch and you're like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. I might as well start doing something. And then you start, I don't want to do that. And you kind of wipe off the kitchen counter and you kind of walk around and pick up dishes from the dinner the night before and or that's been stockpiling somewhere because everyone eats in a different room and you kind of pick them all up and you put them in the dishwasher and kind of walk around and just kind of fiddle fart around. And you're like, all right, now it's 1:00. I might as well start my day. I didn't have any shows to do that day. I did do the editing stuff and all the what I call the social medias. I have to do all the social media posts and get all that scheduled and blah 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 blah. And my wife asked me to go get hay in the brand new Chevy Silverado. I say brand new. We've had it for 2 years now. It's got maybe 15,000 miles on it. That's how much we don't drive anywhere. So I was like, all right, well, I'll go get hay. And I got to drive almost 60, maybe 50 miles away to go get it. Special hay for the horses and bring it home. And I was leaving it there and I was going to start some stuff. And I said, well, maybe I should unload it and just get it out of, mark it off my list. As I'm down at the barn, unloading the hay from the back of the truck, and it's several pallets. It's several bales of hay. Numerous. All right, it's 11. I'd say it's 10, but that'd be one off. And so I'm down there, I'm throwing the hay into the hay room, and I got to straighten everything up and do all that stuff. My wife comes home, and the way our property's set up, our house sits up higher. So if you're in the driveway, you can look down the property, and you can see me in the barn. Hi, Schmoopy. And I was like going, I have my headphones on. I'm throwing the hay in there, and I'm cleaning up and doing all this stuff and throwing more hay and trying to straighten it up and separate it and all this stuff. And she comes home and she's like, hey. She texts me. I got my headphones on. Badoop. Oh, I got a message. Oh, and I look up towards the house. Oh, there. I'm like, hey. She's like, hey. I said, let me finish and I'll be right up. What? Let me click. I'm texting her back. Let me finish and I'll be right up. Okay. Big heart emoji. And I go, wow, God damn. It was so satisfying for my wife to come home and see me actually physically working. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. This like, oh, so you don't actually sit around all day long and do absolutely nothing in that studio or sit in front of the TV or anything like that. No. She caught me in the middle of my daily stuff that I do. It was just a good feeling. I was like, it could have been worse. I could have been, watching TV. No, babe, I'm in the middle of this series. It's really, really good. It's really good. But yeah, it was good. It was a good feeling. My neighbors, my old neighbors next door, and I say old neighbors. The reason why I say old neighbors are the ones that live right next door to me. They're the ones with the kids and the dogs and all the commotions and stuff. He's just basically, he's not taking care of his property at all. He's not being responsible. He's taking care of it. He's just not being responsible. My new neighbors are the ones that got the $4,000 la-di-da mower. I know. No, they're good people. But they're the ones that we do like edibles and stuff. Or not edibles, but like, edibles, because we had a couple with them. Not with them, but they gave us some, and we're like going, hell yeah. So my old neighbors, the one that I used to do the proms for, the one I used to do all that stuff for and all that, their parents, just to solidify that there's a rub going on between the two of us. Their parents, his parents, were from Arizona. He's from Arizona, got a condo made of Stona, and so his dad and his mom, which is a rarity to see the mom at his place, were visiting for 2 weeks. So I seen him out there, and I'm mowing the lawn. Every 4 days I'm mowing the lawn or doing something on the property, and not a glance, maybe a wave or two. Hey, from his wife. Hey, what's going on? Nice bangs. One of the kids would come out, and I told you time and time again, hey, your fucking ducks are over here again. What'd you let them over there for? I wanted to fucking smack them. The kid with the boom, 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 boom. So he's home the other day, and I'm out there mowing on my $27,000 lawnmower, diamond blades, that type deal. And I can see him walk through the trees. We have a row of cypress trees that just kind of separates the property. I can see him coming up. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going to figure out what story's going on here. He comes over and kind of leans on the mower and stuff. He goes, how you doing? I'm like, good, man. Good. How are you? He's like, oh, well, my parents are in town. I go, I saw an old lady and I saw an old man over there. And I go, well, that's not you or your wife. I said, but I could tell that was your dad because both of you, this is my train of thought. I said, both of you have the same walk and the same gait, which is basically the same thing. But when I say walk, your stride is the same. The gait is the whole entire body. Talking about horses and stuff. He goes, well, what do you mean? I go, his elbow on one side swings up higher in the back than his right elbow does. And and that's the way when he walks, that's the way you walk. I said, I can tell that's your dad because both of you walk the exact same way. And he starts laughing. He goes, I know we have a unique stride. He goes, no one's ever told me about the elbow swing. I said, yeah, the two of you walked side by side and they're not going to be able to tell you apart. So he starts laughing. That's so funny. I go, don't get me wrong. My mom is beaten in my head to shoulders up, back, and then down. Because my dad, everyone on my dad's family slouches. Everyone on my dad's family slouches. Probably the reason why she started teaching me all the etiquettes and stuff of being, high royalty and whatnot. So I always catch myself slouching because my mom hated the way my dad stood up. He looked like I don't want to say a weak man, but, what do a guy who's 6'3", 250 some odd pounds who slouches? Well, you can't take anything serious from him, or can you? I don't know. So I always my mom always said, sit up, slouch, and all that. He goes to me, yeah, my mom and dad's in town. I was like, well, yeah, I noticed that you didn't invite me over or anything like that or introduce me to your dad or mom again. It's one of those things. But it's okay. I didn't say that to him. That's what I was thinking. Normally we go, hey, my mom and dad's in town. When they come in, why don't you say hi and stuff and we'll, break bread or something together. I don't know what those people do because they're homeschool kids and stuff. Very, very religious. And when I say religious, he goes, hey, I'm sorry that our chickens are in your coop and stuff. I said, well, it's fine. You always say that. Behind closed doors, you're like, fucking, can't he get a grip on his shit? His fucking ducks are over here, his goddamn chick. Our animals do not cross over to his property at all. At all, they don't cross. And all his things come over to our place. You know why? You know why they always come over to our place? Because we got fucking better food. We've got the shit. They sit there and they make their ducks and they make their goddamn chickens eat this special barley and rice that they get shipped in that's organic and all this shit. And those ducks know and those chickens know that food sucks. That food sucks. And they come over to us because we've got double Whopper cheeseburgers. We've got everything. We got, extra salted fries. We got vanilla milkshakes. We got all that stuff over here. Type of food. That's what I say behind closed doors. But he says, oh, I see a couple of our chickens are in your coop and stuff. He goes, I'll come over this week once my parents leave. They'll be leaving here in a couple days, and I'll grab the chickens out of your coop. And I go, yeah, that's fine. yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no big deal. No big deal, man. It's cool. Then he said to me something that resonated in my head, cult-like words, sounds, syllables, sentence, a whole sentence, he said to me. He said, we have a guy coming from Arizona, a single. He'll be staying with us for a couple days. He's the last one of the bunch, and we're going to have a get-together for him. He's the last single in our community. Or something like that. I don't know. I had like 15 beers in me already. I wasn't listening to him. But I go, oh, okay, cool. This is all French to me. I don't know. Then he leaves, and I'm like thinking about like, what the fuck did he just say? There's a guy coming from Arizona in that area. This is the last single, like not married, member of his community church. And they're going to have a get together for him to kind of mingle and meet other single females in his church. And then once he's gone, he'll come over and get the chickens out of the coop. And I go, after he left, I go, what the fuck is going on over there? He built this big 42 by 42, 2-story workshop right next to us. He stores the cars and all that stuff in it. But what the fuck is going on in that place? And it's literally almost like on the property line. He couldn't build it in the back somewhere? He's got 18 acres. No, he wanted to keep it up front. What the fuck did he just say? He's the last single male in our community. And we're going to introduce him and have a little mingle, a little get-together, a little soiree. Well, I hope they do the waltz. Because, oh, God, those fucking people are weird. And I'll get into what my wife brought me back. That she totally, I was being passive-aggressive. She totally forgot to get me to bring home, and I'll tell you what that is here in a little bit. When we come back, I had a conversation with my wife, which got me thinking about how to do a different thing with this show. But I want to hear what your thoughts are. So I'll dive in that when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. My wife's working working in Charlotte today. Normally she works from home on Fridays. But we're going to this party, this lemon party. Oh, that's what it is. It's not a lemon party. Lemon party is the one that you pee on. We're going to this yellow party tomorrow. We leave here tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And they're going to have a live band, probably like 200 some odd people or something like they had last time. And she says, it's the husband's birthday. What should I get him? Fuck, I don't know. You're friends with his wife because you're both horse people. I just know him from 2 times that I talked to him. Once at the barn and then once at his parties where I was rubbing shit on his wife's face. That's the only 2 times I've ever talked to him. What do you get someone who's got, all this money and, has, this and that, and, what do you get him? What do you get? Babe, I don't know. I said, text his wife and see what he wants. It's a birthday party. Okay. I said, you know what we should do, though, since we're spending the night and we had such a, kerfuffle over breakfast the next morning because everyone woke up. And I say everyone, I think maybe 2 other couples spent the night just because of the location of this place. So we're all like downstairs in the kitchen, like going, okay, I'm all about breakfast. What are we having for breakfast? And everyone's like going, well, and she's not a caterer person. She caters her place. She doesn't do any cooking or anything like that. And I'm like going, well, you got some eggs, some sausage, fire up the grill, fire up the pan, fire up something. You got 6 couples looking at you starving to death here. So I told my wife last night, I said, why don't we make one of our biscuit casserole things where you just cut up the biscuits, put them in there, scramble some eggs, put that in there, some cheese and some white country gravy, seal it up, and then we'll bring it over, and then Sunday morning we'll just throw it in the oven, cook it, and everyone can have a slice, and everyone's done, right? It's a, offer of suggestion. Yeah, but we still need to buy him a present. I don't fucking know, babe. I don't know what this guy does. I don't know. He has no interest other than he's got cattle. He's got, I think, 1,000 heads of cattle, and he rotates them and stuff. And I don't know. What is he into? I don't know. What is he into? I don't know. Don't tell me. But since my wife is working from Charlotte today, and I was doing all the running around and stuff, my wife buys stuff all the time online. Well, of course, I tell her to buy stuff too. We're out, like I said, out in the middle of nowhere, forced to shop and all that stuff. We have Walmart and that's it. We have a Belk. Remember those people? Yeah, they're from North Carolina. So we have a Belk store. I'm not shopping there. Fucking trash bag place. But there's no like, I don't want to say like Burdines, but there's no like, was it Tangier outlets? There's nothing fancy. Listen to me, Tangier, the big, most expensive places. Oh, they don't have a Rolex store where you're at there, Travis? Get your watch battery replaced? No, they don't. Plus they're kinetic. Anyways. But there's nothing out here to shop. The people that you see walking around in the clothes basically got them from Walmart or from a thrift store. There's no outlet stores here, mall. So we order everything online. The best part about online shopping, especially through Amazon, you guys will back me up on this, is that they love free returns. Or I say they'll let you do free returns. You don't like it, whatever reason. I love the no box, no label thing. I love that. I return shit almost every other week. And you stand in line at the UPS store. It's not a UPS outlet. It's a UPS store. Some guy owns it. It's a franchisee. They use the name and pay for all that stuff. And there's always two black girls. I'm going to say black girls because that's what they are. Two black girls. And I told you they were singing like Motown one time. And I was like going, But it's always a line out the door for returns. Because this is the only one in this small little fucking podunk town that we live in. And so I'm standing there and I got a bag of whatever dress that doesn't fit my wife or she didn't like the way it hung on her or whatever. And I'm like sitting there and I've got, it's in a bag and I've got my phone ready for the QR code. And this white woman, older white woman, I'm 52. She is not 52. She is older than 52. Tall, probably 5'8", 5'9", about about the height of my wife. Long hair. She won't let that long hair go, even though it's got gray in it and stuff. It's that dirty blonde or not dirty brown hair with the gray in it. And she just stands there on the side of the line because it's just one door to get in, one door to get out. And everyone kind of forms like this single queue. And there's two registers. So, this one opens, this person goes there. This person opens, and you're just waiting. You're in line waiting for one of the registers to open. She goes, this white woman, stands there. And on the right-hand side of this little small UPS store has like a mapper, one of the big plotters, printers. And somewhere where they can put like email addresses and stuff, like a personal computer and stuff. And then there's like a scan thing off to the right-hand side. I never knew what the scan thing was. I thought that was for someone special, someone just dropping off something stupid. I don't know. So I'm like the third person in line. So this older woman, white woman, comes out and she kind of leans back and kind of, looks around, observes the situation. And she notices that there's, in this town, we have a lot of old people. There's two old ladies trying to return something, and they don't get the concept of where the thing is coming from and where the thing is going. Is that my address, ma'am? And, the cashier spins the monitor around or the little thing around. Can you verify all this information on the front? Oh, my God, let me get my glasses. And, get the glasses. Okay, who is Vibrolux? That's where the product came from. Vibrolux, and there's my name. That's where it's going. And will Vibrolux get my quote-unquote massager back? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay, I hit okay. Now, oh my God, there's so much more. And I can't read it. The black lady behind the counter, ma'am, just hit accept. This is just the terms of, you can sit there and read them all day long. And then she looks at the people standing in line going, I hope she doesn't do it. You can sit there and read the terms of agreement. And it's just basically saying that, we're not, whatever she sold her. So the older white woman that's works there at the UPS store, standing probably about shoulder length from me. And she goes, sir, do you have a return? And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, well, I didn't buy anything from here. I'm returning something. Yeah, I have a return going back to Amazon because I'm a fucking moron too. I don't know how to talk to people. I said, yeah, this is my wife bought this. And she's like, do you have the code? I'm like, yeah. So I hold my phone up. She goes, put it underneath this little scanner. I go, okay. And I said, well, I don't know how to do it. And I feel like the lady up front. Can't figure out where Viberlust is. And I'm holding my phone. She's like, let me have that, sir. So she takes my phone and scans it. And she goes, is this the pack? Is this what you're returning, the package? And I said, yeah. And it's in a cellophane bag. And she goes, do you need any insurance or anything on it? I go, no. She goes, hold on one sec. It spits out a label. She sticks it on the bag. Then spits out another label for my receipt. You know what the UPS labels look like. They're all the same size. She gives it me, and she goes, I'm going to put this in this little hopper right here, and you're good to go. And I go, can I do this every time when I come in here? She's like, yes. Unless you've got some kind of special thing or something outside that's a little bit too big or won't fit in this thing. Yes, you can come here every time and do this. And I kind of turn around to like the 19 people behind me, and I go, did you guys know this? Most of them were smacking gum and you know, playing whatever on their phone. And some of them were like going, yeah, we knew this, but my package is too big. Tell me about it, ladies. But I was like, all right, well, now I know. Now, if it fits in there, if it fits, it ships type deal, right? And me, I'm all about conversation with someone that helped me. I leaned over and I go, you know, I was really intimidated by this thing. She's like, what do you mean? I go, there's no signage on here saying that if you just got a basic return, there's nothing on here that lets me know that, or let me be confident enough that if I put my package in here, it's going to make it. She's like, well, maybe we should fix that. I said, are you saying me and you? Because I don't fucking work here. I'll look into it. Okay. My wife and I got into a conversation on the ride back home from going out to see her horse on the new property. The property that's owned by, what's his name that I told you about? John Boy, from John Boy and Billy. I didn't see him out there. They were there, but I didn't see him. The property's too big. No big deal. As we're driving home, I forgot how we got on the conversation. Oh, we were talking about driver's ed. And I said, babe, I said, you, I said, you're following this car too close. Or something to the effect of you're when you stop, you don't need to stop this close to a vehicle. She's like, how do you know I'm too close? I said, because you can't see the back tires. She's like, what? I said, yes, when you're at a stoplight in Florida, I don't know about the rest of the world. I said, in Florida, you should be able to see the bottom of the back of the tires. That's how you know you're close enough, just in case something happens or whatever. She's like, you know what? She goes, you know what? You know more about driving and the rules of the road than you know about anything else. I said, no. I said, just me and you in the car, I know about driving. She's like, well, what do you mean? She's like, you must have studied that goddamn driver's manual front to back. I said, well, I took it in summer school. I took a class in summer school to get my license. So when I turned 16, all I had to do was go down to the DMV and just hand them the sheet. It was a 3-week class, part of a, summer school. It's either 6 weeks or 3 weeks. And this was half a semester. So 3 weeks. And I read the book front and back. We watched videos. We took tests. We did all this stuff. I said, yes. So I remember that. It was a great summer. And she's like, well, why was it so great? I go, because that's the summer I was smoking hash. She goes, what? I go, yeah. I said, here I am. I said, imagine the Breakfast Club, right? You got the jock, you got the nerd, you got the punk guy, you got the cheerleader, and you got the what's her name with the isolated girl. I said I was Judd Nelson in our class, at driver's ed. And I befriended two of the jocks that were in the class. So we kind of hung out and stuff. And we used to smoke hash on the days that we would do the driving course, at Oak Ridge High School. I said, yeah. I said, Tom Gurdenbach and Trail Bryant. Now, I know they don't listen to the show. I'm not friends with them on Facebook. She goes, really? I said, yeah. She's like, what are they doing now? I said, I think Tom Gurdenbach is like a highway patrol safety. He's a policeman somewhere. He's doing law enforcement somewhere. And Trail Bryant ended up being a mortician. He owns his own, funeral home. Huh. Why don't you reach out to him and be friends with him? Why? It's, I delved a little bit more into the story of how fun it was to go out there and smoke weed in the portables that weren't ready for students to be in them and stuff. And it told her the whole thing. She's like, it sounded like you had a really, really good summer. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I also remember that when you stop at a stoplight, you need to make sure that your tires, the person in front of you's tires are visible when you're stopping. Why don't you reach out to him on Facebook? Now that you're back on Facebook now. I said, man, no. No. She's like, why not? It sounded like you had really, really nice friends. I said I had really, really nice friends that summer. And then we got back in the school, the next year. Granted, hey, what's going on, Travis? Hey, what's going on, Tom? Hey, what's going on, Trail? We didn't hang out together. We didn't do anything together. It was just that one summer that we had a connection because there was probably a bunch of nerds and stuff. I was, the top of the bottom rung in the class as far as coolness. But yeah, and she's like, yeah, but that's an interesting story. I never knew that about you. I never knew that you knew these people and this is what you did and stuff like that. And I go, all right, yeah, that's kind of cool. Then I got to thinking, I said, well, I wonder how many other people I've got stories about in high school. And I was thinking about that would be kind of a cool segment strictly for me. Just to reminisce as far as that. And you people out there are probably going to go, this is not for us. But I do this show strictly for me. It's strictly a mental release for me. Like I said, I've got no one really, really to talk to. My wife is not on the same playing field as far as my mental capacity, as you can tell with the conversations that I've had with her. So maybe, I don't know. I don't want to ever bash anyone negatively on the show, so I won't do that unless it's warranted. But maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Now, I don't want to bash my wife, but when we come back, I'll tell you what she promised to get me, failed to do it, and then kind of came back and got me it the next week. So, oh, God. So stick around. I'll be right back. While I was at Walmart today, I had to stop by and get a motion sensor light switch for the kitchen. So in our kitchen, we have the recessed lighting on the top, right? Then above our stove, which is in the center island, we have a light fixture that's there on a separate switch. And then we have lights underneath the countertops, L shape, and a light over the sink. So if you're washing dishes or whatever, there's a light there. My dad turns that light on all the time and forgets to turn it off. Shocker, right? We talked about this before. So I told you that I bought a motion sensor. So when he walks into the kitchen, those lights come on. He does what he does. He leaves. It goes back off. The switch that I got on Amazon. It was like a 2-pack for like $20. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cheap. Let's get those. So the one that we have in the kitchen is failing. When I say failing, I can sit in my bedroom, look through the, here we go, baller, look through our French doors, through the back porch, into the kitchen, and see that light go on and off, on and off. Now, I chalked it up to the cats running around, but there was one night where the cats were in our room, and I'm like going on, stays on for like 4 minutes and then goes off. On, 4 minutes and then goes off. The reason why this pisses me off and pisses my wife off now, is that we keep bread on the counter. And the under-the-counter lights, we haven't changed them out yet, are the 75-watt halogen lights. Those things get fucking hot. You might as well bake bread under there. So if it are on too long, you grab your loaf of bread. On top, it's all hard because it's been cooking all day. On, off, on, off. So my wife says, we have to fucking fix this. And she's twisted the little knobs inside. If you're watching me here on the YouTube channel, she's twisting. That doesn't look good, by the way. It looks like I'm pinching nipples. She's twisting like the set, how much time do you want it to have to come on, and how much the range, and the distance and time, and she's messed with all those dials and stuff. She's like, I can't fucking do it. The thing's a piece of shit. I said, okay, babe, I'll go buy another one because we're getting ready to do this yellow party, and then the week after that we're going up to New York for 5 days, and we can't have this thing on and off and on and off, and my dad not pay attention to it. So I went into Lowe's and I bought one. $36 fucking dollars. Jesus Christ. But it works, and I have confidence in it. But while I was checking out, must have been a new cashier there, and she's like going, can I help you scan, at the self-checkout, can I help you scan all your stuff? You got it? Okay, great. Sir, can I? And I got this one thing in my hand, and she sees me coming. She's like, can I help you, sarcastically, scan that one item? I said, yeah, come on over. Scan this for me. So she scans it for me. She's like, thank you. I needed something to do. I was driving myself crazy up here. I go, I could tell. That's why I gave you a little break here. And she's like, do you have Lowe's, my Lowe's or whatever? And I said, yeah. And I give her the phone number, 407, whatever. She goes, I hate to be, is that an Orlando number? I said, yeah, born and raised in Orlando. I'm thinking about moving there. I said, really? I said, it's okay. I heard it's like crowded and stuff. Near the theme parks and stuff. Yeah, on the east side of Orlando, downtown, not so much. Maybe north side of Orlando. You just have to be careful. I mean, because, where it's not crowded is where it's going to be the most expensive. That type of stuff. And what about Tampa? I said, well, Tampa's okay. They're coming around. They're starting to be a good city, bigger city, and so on. And we went back, and I said, but have I got a deal for you, sister? What is it? I go, I'm getting ready to sell a house. Actually, I have a house right now on the market that is north of, the Orlando area, but you can get to Orlando in like 35 minutes on the I-4. And it's for sale right now, and you got about 30 days before this thing's off the market. She's like, oh, I'm not going to go down there for another 3 years. I'm waiting for my oldest to finish college. And I go, well, what the fuck am I talking to you for? I said, I don't think it's going to stick around that long. So, well, good luck. Oh, thank you. See you. Have a good day. All right, see you later. Lady, my wife and I, before I go to bed at night, my wife always says, she rolls over. She's like, I'm going to sleep. She's like, are you going to watch Tiki-Takis? I'm like, yeah, I'll watch Tiki-Takis. So I sit there and watch Tiki-Takis, and while I'm watching, scrolling, you know how TikTok works. We're all adults here. I rub her back until she goes to sleep. And then sometimes she can't sleep. And I'll find one. I'm like, ooh, look at this one. Watch this one. It's always about food or something. And there's a guy on there I watch. He gets requests from people. Go to McDonald's and ask for the whatever. Okay, let's go. And then, so if you've seen that guy, that's the guy I watch. He did one the other day. I fucking love Arby's. I hate it the next day, but I love Arby's. The roast beef sandwich, holy fucking Jesus. Spoon that in my throat. He had a thing saying, ask for the Big Montana off the secret menu. So he goes, hey, go to McDonald's, go to Arby's and ask for the Big Montana off the secret menu. Oh my God. And this is him. He's like, oh my God. So let's go. Okay. And then he gets it and he brings it home and he picks it up. If you're watching this here on the YouTube video, it's this fucking big. And I show my wife. She's like, holy Jesus. And this is like Saturday night. I said, oh, that'd be good for lunch tomorrow. She goes, honey, you've been really good this week with your diet and everything and doing, what you're supposed to do. And I've actually lost 4 pounds, by the way. In 2 weeks, I've lost 4 pounds, which is good for drinking, a case of beer every day. She's like, I'll buy it for you. I'm like, and I said, no, babe, no. But if you swing by it, that's fine. I'll take it. So she's like, all right. So she goes and she does Sunday morning. I do my normal chores and stuff, and I relax and I sit in front of the TV and, figure out my day and stuff, which is going to be sitting in front of the TV on Sunday, relaxing, not doing anything. And she's like, I'm running a little bit late at the horse thing. I'll be back. Well, is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. She's like, I got to stop by the store and do all that. All right, fine. I didn't say anything. So she comes home. She's like, look at the thing. Look what I found on sale. And it's always horse stuff. It's not like stuff for the house. It's always horse stuff. Look at this bridle and look at this. This was like 30% off. I said, did you get my Arby's? And she literally looked at me in the face like this. Wait for the camera to turn here. And I'll switch it right here. She looked at me in the face like this, like, shit, I did, and I could see it in her mind. I did say I was going to get you Arby's. And then she goes, but you said you didn't want any. And I go, yeah, but I didn't know if you were going to do, never, it's okay. No, I'm sorry. I go, no, it's fine. We were kind of kidding. I didn't know how serious we were doing it or anything like that. It's okay. She's like, I'll get it next week. I said, okay. She's like, I'm really sorry. I thought we were just kind of around. And I said, well, no, it was kind of like, hopefully you would bring it home. I know, the little things, right? And the only reason why I bring this up a little bit is because when I go grocery shopping, if I see stuff that I know that she likes, I'll bring it home. And she's excited when I come home from grocery shopping because I'm like going, look at this new flavor and look at this new thing. And this, we should try this. I've always got like 2 or 3 things for her that I get when I go grocery shopping. I was just kind of like let down. I was like going, oh, you got all this horse stuff? You didn't get me my sandwich? That's okay. So the next week, holy mackerel, did she come through? She bought, well, first of all, she went to Arby's and said, I want the big Montana off of the secret menu. They're like, ¿qué? Mucho Hugo Montana El Sandwich Pompadour. No, because we have a large Mexican community here. No, I don't know. You don't say, pero the Montana, big sandwich? She's like, yes. So she's like, she comes home and she tells me, she's like, it's a regular roast beef. It's just got a half a pound. You can get it with a 1/4 pound, you can get it with 3/4 pounds, or you can get a half pound of roast beef on it. I said, oh, man. Okay, I'll baby, you did well. So I got 2 of them sitting there. And I open it up. And it's not as big as the guy showed on TikTok. But holy shit, it was fucking big. I mean, it was good. It was so fucking big, and it was shaved so fucking thin that you would pick up one side, the whole other side would fucking fall out of the bun. I'm like, God damn it. She's like, what's wrong? Nothing. Because she's in the other room. Nothing. How is it? Good. And I'm trying to, how do you hold this fucking monstrosity of shaved meat that's so fucking thin? It's like paper thin. And if you pick it up and do the haunch and bite it, everything falls out the back of it. How is this a sandwich? Now, back in the day, I remember Arby's used to cut it almost like a deli style. It had a little bit, you could hold it up and not really see through it. If you're watching this on the YouTube video here, you could hold it up and not see through it. It was paper thin, but it wasn't paper thin. This is fucking tissue paper thin slicing it. I don't know if it's just our Arby's or if it's, this is what they're doing across the board. Now, granted, I will go into this, that if it's supposed to have half a pound, which is what, 8 ounces? They literally shave it and throw it on the scale because my wife says, I'm watching them. I'm fucking watching them because my husband's already pissed off at me. If I don't bring him home, 2 half pounds of roast beef sliced between 4 pieces of bread, he's going to be pissed at me. So she's watching. Yeah. She's like, babe, that's what they do on the scale, and then back on the sandwich, and then they box it up. And I got you 2 of them. And you said you wanted potato cakes. I go, yeah, I wanted 2 potato cakes. She's like, 2 potato cakes or 2 servings of potato cakes? I go, 2 potato cakes, which equals 4. She's like, Jesus Christ. I said, well, I'm going to have that for dinner too. So she brings it home. I sit there in front of the TV and I'm watching the last series or the last couple episodes of the Gilded Age. And I'm putting my RB sauce on everything and I'm getting it all and I'm eating it. And I'm done with one of them. And I go, well, the other one's over there too. Oh, yes. I hate both of them. My wife comes in probably a half hour later. How were your sandwiches? I said, babe, they were perfect. They were perfect. They were delicious. Thank you very much. Well, what are we eating for dinner tonight? I go, well, I think I ate my dinner. Travis Holmes. You ever had that yelled as a kid? I said, what? You ate both of those? I said, yeah. Well, what about the potato cakes? I ate those too. So, I do a 4-mile walk every morning, Monday through Friday, and I burn about 600 and some odd calories. I need to do another double one. So that's what my wife, she redeemed herself. So there you go. All right, guys, I appreciate you listening to me work all this stuff out. I'll talk to you later. Okay, see you, bye. Oh, I think I want another one now. Maybe I'll get one this weekend. I'll let you know. See you. Bye.